Okay, so now we're going to learn about somatosensation. So somato is body, sensation. Okay. So remember these. We went through these in the some of them in when we did the skin cells. I mean the skin organ. Okay. The integumentary system. So free nerve endings are temperature and pain. Temperature and pain. Remember we saw nociceptor earlier. Nociceptor is pain. Anytime you see free nerve ending or nociceptor is pain. Okay. Merkel cells is vibration. We saw those in the skin. Pacinian corpuscle, called Pacinian corpuscle. Deep pressure and vibration. Meissner corpuscle, we also saw that. It's light touch. Okay. These two, we don't have to learn about it. Proprioception, we learned this earlier. Okay. It's your body position depending on your joints and skeletal muscle. Muscle spindle in the skeletal muscle near the tendon. Right here, here's the tendon, here's the muscle spindle. As muscle fibers are stretched, impulses are initiated. It goes to the spinal cord and stimulate contraction. So if your body is falling forward, okay, of course the back muscle will be stretched, causing an action potential. It sends the nerve to the brain, and then it'll cause it to tighten up so that you don't fall forward. You have something at the end called the Golgi tendon organ. Golgi tendon organ. It is a stretch receptor here, okay, that prevents you to lift so much or lift too much or something, inhibit tearing. Okay. It helps maintain posture and protect muscle from being pulled from insertion by excessive tension. Okay, so Golgi tendon organ inhibit muscle from tearing. Now we're going to go to vision. Vision, another one of the special senses because it has an organ attached to it. And let's first look at the anatomy. Okay. We're going to have to learn all these muscles later. Okay. Remember the nerve 364, it moves the eye. Okay. 346. Okay. So the eyebrows on top, we all know where that is. The eyelid, it lubricates. Okay, when you close your eyes. Conjunctiva is the white part of the eye. Okay, also protects and lubricate. Lacrimal apparatus. Lacrimal gland is for your tears. Okay, and the extrinsic eye muscle is to help you move. Let's look at the eye muscle first. Okay, so lateral rectus is on the lateral side. Okay, it helps you move your eye that way. Okay, medial rectus help you move your eye to the medial side. Okay, so when you do a cross eye, okay, don't get these confused. Some students have gotten them confused and then got it wrong on the test. The superior oblique helps you rotate the eye. Okay. Inferior oblique help you rotate this way. As you can see, when you pull this muscle tight, the eye is going to rotate like that. Okay, superior oblique will go the opposite way. Remember, muscle don't push. Muscle cannot push, so it can only pull. So you got one here, and you got one here pulling this way. Okay. Superior rectus and inferior rectus. It helps you move the eye up and then down. So all the rectuses, it's just one direction. And then there's inferior oblique and then superior oblique. Okay? Don't get that confused. So on the side view here, you can see the superior rectus is directly attached to the eye. Okay? And inferior is right there. And the superior oblique, okay, is also there but behind. Okay? Inferior oblique is behind. Okay, more anatomy of the eye. So here we're going to look at 3 layers first. Okay, so remember the sclera is the white part of the eye. Okay, so your eye's got 3 layers. Okay, first layer is a fibrous layer. We call it just the white part of the eye, sclera. Okay, first of all, is to protect and then let lights go through. Okay. Second layer is called the vascular tunic, which comprises of the choroid layer. Choroid layer is the second layer. Okay. So what it does is it provides blood and nutrient to the eye. And the third layer is the neural layer or neural tunic, which provides nerve, like sensation. Okay. So here it is, with 3 tunic layer. Outer is the sclera and cornea, which is the fibrous layer. Second layer is the vascular layer, the choroid, ciliary body, and iris. And the third layer is the nerve layer, retina. Fibrous layer. The cornea is right there. Okay, and the sclera is the white part. Okay, sclera, firm white outer connective. Okay, tissue covering posterior 5/6 to protect, maintain the shape of the eye. Cornea, transparent, anterior 1/6, permit light to enter and to focus. Okay, again, cornea and the sclera back here. Okay, the white part of the eye. Vascular layer, the choroid, posterior portion associated with the sclera, very thin with melanin containing cell, absorb light to prevent reflection. Ciliary body, anterior portion has smooth muscle, ciliary muscle, which attach and perimeter of the lens via suspensory ligament. So here it is, ciliary body. Okay, and that is, we saw the choroid layer, okay, in between. So here is a cross section, another cross section. Here's the cornea and sclera. So again, that is the fibrous layer. Okay, the choroid layer, second layer, and then neuronal layer in the back. Now you have to remember there's an anterior chamber and a posterior chamber. So the eye is as you know, is filled with liquid. Okay. So anterior and posterior chamber. Cavity between the cornea and the lens. The chambers separated by the iris. These are filled with aqueous humor and vitreous humor. Where is it? Okay. Posterior cavity is filled with vitreous humor. Anterior cavity is filled with aqueous humor. Okay. I know it's not written here, but you gotta find it. Vitreous humor is in the back. and aqueous humor is in the front. Okay. So glaucoma is a disease of the eye resulting when drainage of the fluid is blocked and there's pressure buildup in these chambers. Okay, again, the front is aqueous humor and the back is vitreous humor. Vitreous humor. Let me see. Okay, before we get into that, let's talk a little bit more about the iris. So the iris is not a physical, not the iris, the pupil. It's not a physical hole in the eye. So the iris is the color part of the eye. All right, some are blue, green, brown. What it does is when it opens and closes, it affects the size of the pupil. Okay, so that's where it lets light in. Okay, and it reflects in the lens and then goes all the way to the back. So down here, back here, we have the optic nerve. Okay, and let's see if it's shown here. So optic disc right here is called the blind spot. Okay, optic disc is the blind spot where, because of these vessels, you can't see. Okay, fovea centralis, this is one I wanted to find. Fovea centralis right here, you see that little dip? Okay, this is where your eye have the clearest focus. Fovea centralis, where it's the best vision, okay, will be here. Okay, again, this part is your optic disc, okay, which you will have a blind spot right there, okay? Okay. Because of that optic nerve. So, in the back of the eye, that's your retina. So some of you have seen this, some of you have not. So the retina has got photoreceptors. Okay, photoreceptors. Okay. Two types of photoreceptors in the back of the eye. One is rods and one is cones. Okay. Rods are 20 times more are sensitive to light, but not to color. Okay. And cones require more light, sensitive to color. Red, blue, and green. So that's why at night, when you walk in the night or go into a dark room or something, everything is gray because it requires more light to activate the action potential in the cones. But when you're just outside, light comes in, hit the rods, the light goes all the way to the retina, hits the rod, activates action potential, and then you can see light. So that's how it works. So everything will be collected at the optic disc. Remember the optic disc in the back? That's where the optic nerve is, and it goes to your brain. Okay, optic disc is the blind spot. There's no photoreceptor. Okay, it's right there. Only the axon. At the exact center of the retina is the fovea centralis. In here you can't see it. Okay, so that's why you have the best visual acuity there. Okay, this contains only photoreceptor and is therefore acuity and sharpest is the best. Okay, at the fovea centralis, the best sharpness